Have you ever decided in the heat of the moment, only to regret it hours later? Have you ever wondered why your heart pulls you one way while your mind screams another? Every day we face choices, some small, some monumental, and yet so often we are caught in a battle between what we feel and what we know to be rational. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of resilience and clarity, has an answer. It teaches us that mastering the art of decision-making isn't about suppressing emotions or denying feelings, but about understanding them, observing them, and letting reason guide the ultimate choice. Today, we are going to uncover the Stoic truths that can help you navigate life's decisions with wisdom, calm, and unshakable clarity. The first truth that the Stoics teach us is as follows. Emotions are signals, not commands. Imagine standing at a crossroads. Fear tightens your chest. Desire pulls your gaze toward one path. Anger simmers in your mind at the thought of a missed opportunity. In that moment, it's tempting to follow whatever feels strongest. But Stoicism reminds us that emotions are information. They indicate what matters to us, what our values are, and where our boundaries lie. They are not instructions to act impulsively. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we must observe our impulses, not be ruled by them. When a wave of emotion rises, pause, label it. Ask yourself, what is this feeling telling me? Fear may signal risk, yes, but it may also signal growth if approached with rational planning. Desire may point to a genuine goal, but it may also be fleeting if untethered from virtue. Observing emotions gives you the power to respond thoughtfully rather than react blindly. The second truth is that reason is your compass. Imagine walking through a dense forest without a map. The path is uncertain, shadows loom, and every turn could lead to safety or danger. Reason is the map Stoicism provides. It allows us to weigh consequences, predict outcomes, and act by what is just, beneficial, and aligned with our principles. But here's the challenge. Most people do not cultivate reason. They react based on instinct, habit, or fleeting passions. Epictetus warned that humans often suffer not because of events themselves, but because of the judgments they impose upon them. When faced with a decision, train yourself to separate fact from story. What is objectively happening? What assumptions are you adding? What fears are exaggerating the threat? And what desires are inflating the reward? This separation is the gateway to clear, deliberate choices. The third truth is that virtue should be the ultimate measure of your decisions. Stoicism emphasizes that the highest good is not pleasure, comfort, or approval, but moral excellence, courage, wisdom, temperance, and justice. When emotions clash with reason, ask yourself, which path leads to virtue? If anger tempts you to lash out at someone who wronged you, reason tells you to pause, reflect, and respond fairly. If desire tempts you toward indulgence that harms your long-term goals, reason reminds you that self-discipline is more rewarding than immediate pleasure. The Stoics were not emotionless. They felt deeply, but they filtered their emotions through the lens of virtue. By aligning choices with what is morally right rather than what is momentarily satisfying, you ensure that every decision strengthens your character rather than erodes it. The fourth truth is that anticipation of outcomes prevents regret. Imagine deciding purely on impulse, then watching the consequences unfold. Regret gnaws at your mind, leaving bitterness and frustration in its wake. Stoics teach the practice of premeditatio malorum, imagining possible challenges before taking action. By considering the worst-case scenario, the most likely outcomes, and the best-case result, you equip yourself with foresight. This exercise doesn't eliminate risk, but it transforms fear into preparation and anxiety into strategy. It also tempers the sway of emotions. When you've mentally walked through the consequences, desire feels less overwhelming, and fear becomes a guide rather than a tyrant. Decision-making becomes a deliberate act rather than a gamble. The fifth truth is that detachment from outcomes fosters clarity. Often, we are paralyzed by attachment to results. We fear failure, crave approval, or chase recognition. Stoicism teaches that we control only our actions and intentions, not the reactions of the world. Seneca wrote, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." But he also stressed that the ultimate measure of success is not external reward, but the integrity of our choices. When you detach from external validation and focus on making choices aligned with reason and virtue, emotions no longer cloud your judgment. You act with calm certainty, knowing that the quality of your decision rests in your process, not in the unpredictable reactions of others. The sixth truth is that patience is the ally of clarity. Decisions made in haste rarely reflect wisdom. Stoics remind us that just because you feel strongly about something doesn't mean you must act immediately. Anger, fear, and desire, they all have a short lifespan if observed. Give yourself the gift of time. Step back, sleep on the choice, consult reason, emotions will settle, and clarity emerges. Acting with patience allows you to filter the noise, honor your values, and approach life with calm resolve rather than impulsive chaos. The seventh truth is the power of reflection. At the end of each day, review your decisions. Did you act by reason and virtue? Did you let emotion drive you unduly? Reflection is a feedback loop that strengthens your judgment over time. The Stoics were meticulous about journaling their thoughts, analyzing their errors, and learning from them. When you adopt this habit, each misstep becomes a lesson, each triumph reinforces good practice, and your emotional intelligence grows. You are no longer at the mercy of fleeting feelings. You become the architect of your choices, the master of your mind. The eighth truth is that mindfulness of the present moment anchors decisions. Emotions often pull us toward the past or future, regret, resentment, or anxiety. Desire drags us to imagined pleasures. Fear drags us to imagined threats. Stoicism teaches attention to the present. By focusing fully on what is in front of you, what can be acted upon now, you reduce the noise of reactive emotion. Decision-making becomes grounded, deliberate, and clear. You feel the pulse of life without being consumed by it. Now that we've explored the Stoic truths guiding decision-making, let's bring them to life with practical strategies you can use every day. The first strategy is the pause. Before reacting, take a deliberate breath. Count to 5 or 10 if necessary. Give your mind a moment to separate the immediate emotional surge from rational thought. That pause is where reason steps in. You might notice your anger shrinking, your anxiety easing, or your desire clarifying. This simple act prevents countless impulsive mistakes and turns reactive patterns into conscious choices. The second strategy is journaling your emotions. When faced with a choice, write down what you feel and why. Then ask, does acting on this feeling align with my principles? Does it serve long-term virtue? This exercise transforms ephemeral emotions into tangible data for reason to analyze. Marcus Aurelius, I urged daily reflection, suggesting that clarity emerges from observing one's inner life. Journaling also reveals patterns, triggers that consistently cloud judgment, recurring desires that mislead, or fears that overinflate risks. Awareness is power, and the written word solidifies it. The third strategy is reframing perspective. Suppose you feel fear about a difficult conversation. Instead of seeing it as a threat, frame it as an opportunity to act with courage and integrity. Instead of viewing criticism as an attack, see it as data to improve your actions or strengthen your resilience. Stoicism teaches that external events are neutral. These are our judgments, which color them with fear, anger, or disappointment. By consciously reframing, you shift the emotional weight and allow reason to guide you toward the most virtuous and effective course. The fourth strategy is prioritizing values over impulses. Write down your core principles: honesty, fairness, patience, diligence, compassion. When a decision arises, hold it against this list. Does the action honor these values? If yes, move forward with conviction. If no, step back, regardless of how strongly emotions push you. This alignment between values and choice builds integrity, reduces regret, and strengthens emotional resilience over time. Life becomes less about fighting your feelings and more about harmonizing them with reasoned virtue. The fifth strategy is using visualization. Before making a major decision, imagine the potential outcomes vividly. Picture yourself succeeding, failing, and navigating the challenges each scenario brings. This is not daydreaming, this premeditation, the Stoic practice of anticipating events to prepare the mind. Visualization reduces surprise, tempers emotion, and enhances confidence in your rational judgment. The mind rehearses the choices, allowing emotions to flow without overwhelming reason. The sixth strategy is detachment from external validation. One of the greatest pitfalls in decision-making is the fear of judgment. People choose based on what others might think rather than what reason and virtue dictate. Stoics remind us that the opinions of others are outside our control. What we can control is our actions, our intent, and our adherence to our principles. When you act for virtue rather than approval, emotions lose their power to cloud judgment, and your decisions become grounded in enduring values rather than fleeting external pressures. The seventh strategy is incremental decision-making. Not all choices must be absolute. Break large decisions into smaller steps. Test actions with low stakes before committing fully. This reduces emotional intensity, allows reason to observe results, and prevents regret from impulsive leaps. Even small, virtuous actions compound over time, building confidence and refining judgment. Step by step, you reclaim control over both your emotions and your decisions. The eighth strategy is self-compassion. Stoicism is often misunderstood as cold or unfeeling, but it values kindness toward oneself. When mistakes happen, when emotions mislead, or impulses override reason, treat yourself as you would a student learning a new skill. Reflect, correct, and move forward without self-condemnation. Emotions are natural, misjudgments are inevitable. What matters is growth. By embracing self-compassion, you prevent the spiral of regret and guilt from overwhelming rational thought. Let's put it all together with an example. Imagine you are considering quitting a job that pays well but drains your soul. Your heart screams, "Leave now." Your mind notes the financial risk, and fear grips your chest. Apply the Stoic lens. Pause and breathe, journal your emotions, reframe fear as an opportunity for growth, measure against your core values, visualize potential outcomes, detach from judgment, take incremental steps, and show compassion to yourself. Suddenly, what felt like chaos becomes clarity. You may decide to prepare financially before leaving, negotiate adjustments, or take the leap with awareness and courage. Every step is informed, intentional, and aligned with reason and virtue. Another real-world application is in relationships. You might feel jealousy, anger, or longing. Instead of acting impulsively, pause and reflect. What do these emotions reveal about your values? What action would align with fairness, patience, and integrity? Perhaps calm conversation, setting boundaries, or practicing gratitude transforms the situation. Stoicism doesn't numb emotion. It channels it. You feel deeply, yet act wisely. And here's the secret that ties it all together. Mastery over feelings and logic is a practice, not a single achievement. Every day offers opportunities to observe your impulses, apply reason, and align actions with virtue. Mistakes will happen. Emotional surges will challenge you. But with consistent reflection, journaling, and mindful detachment, your decision-making sharpens, your confidence strengthens, and your life gains coherence. You no longer drift in the currents of fleeting feelings. You navigate life with deliberate wisdom. Remember, the goal is not to suppress your heart, but to harmonize it with your mind. Emotions are not enemies, they are messengers. Reason is not a cold taskmaster. It is the compass that ensures every choice reflects your truest self. When feelings and logic work in concert, decisions become effortless, regret diminishes, and life unfolds with clarity and purpose. So ask yourself, in the moments of tension, when heart and mind clash, do you pause, observe, and respond with wisdom? Or do you act impulsively, letting emotion dictate outcomes you later regret? The Stoic path is a journey, a commitment to notice, reflect, and choose with integrity every single day. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Cultivate awareness of your emotions, strengthen your reasoning, and let virtue guide your actions. Not tomorrow, not next week, but starting now. Each choice is a training ground. Each decision is an opportunity to refine your mind, honor your values, and live with calm confidence. I want to hear from you. What strategies do you use to balance feelings and logic in your own life? Have you ever faced a moment when Stoic principles could have guided you to a better decision? Share your experiences in the comments below, because your insight could help someone else navigate their emotional dilemmas. And remember this, life will always present challenges that tug at your heart and cloud your mind. What matters is not avoiding emotion, but responding wisely. With patience, reflection, and practice, you can master the delicate balance between feeling and reasoning. You can make choices that honor both your inner truth and your external responsibilities. If this video resonated with you, give it a like, share it with someone who struggles with impulsive decisions, and subscribe to the channel for more content on Stoic wisdom, psychology, and personal growth. Your engagement helps us continue building a community dedicated to thoughtful living, self-awareness, and emotional mastery. You are capable of calm, clarity, and wise action. The moment you commit to observing your emotions, applying reason, and living by virtue, you begin transforming not only your decisions but your life. Embrace the practice, honor your mind and heart, and step into each choice with confidence and courage.